So thanks everyone for coming today to the Trailhead Trail Map session. Super excited to share what's new and what's coming inside of Trailhead in the next quarter and even the upcoming year. My name's Samantha Reddy. I am a product manager for Trailhead. I started at Salesforce about 6.5 years ago, started out as a Force.com developer, then moved on to preaching the gospel of Force.com and the app cloud as a developer evangelist. And now here I am on Team Trailhead. So I'm very excited to share with you the cool stuff that we've been working on recently. Now, no Salesforce presentation would be complete without the safe harbor slide or forward-looking statement. I still haven't trained myself to say forward-looking statement. But basically, what this slide is saying is that I may be making forward-looking statements. In fact, I will absolutely be, because this is a roadmap session. And to please base any buying or purchasing decisions off the currently existing products. Now, before jumping into the future, I want to take you back into the past a little bit and talk about how Trailhead got started. So before Dreamforce of 2014, we were addressing this huge problem set, which is how do we scale our developer relations team to educate and grow the masses of developer and admins in our community. And we were doing it in all of these different ways. In fact, you can still get some of them in the back there at the visitor center with workbooks and cheat sheets, and there were blogs and webinars. And something that we had to do as evangelists were we actually went out to all of these different cities all over the world, and we would teach developer workshops of how to learn how to build an app in a day. But the problem with these workshops were that you'd go out to these events, and some people were admins, some people were business users, some people were developers, and they all had varied level of experience on the platform. Some had never coded before, some have been spending a lot of time coding, just not on Force.com. It was a mess. And so one of our evangelists, Josh Burke, had this idea that what if I take all of our Salesforce APIs, since everything on Force.com is API first, and create something that's able to automate validating that someone's building something, so that they can work on whatever they want. We don't need as much instructor interaction. On the same side, like me and Lauren Grau, one of our marketers, was working on a learning paths project, which was taking all of the facets of the platform and putting them in chronological order. So it's like, how would you learn the platform? In what order would you learn all these different concepts? Which became the first developer trail. And so those two things came together at the same time with just enough time before Dreamforce to create this initial application. And it took developer evangelism. It took a ton of docs writers volunteering their time before Dreamforce, which is something people don't have before Dreamforce. And we all came together to launch this initial thing in one slide in Dreamforce 2014. And it ended up being so sticky that we stuck with it. And we continue to build momentum over the next year, creating more content, having Chris Duarte and her amazing writers and editors creating this wonderful content that is now what we've come to experience in real life. Like, it's so crazy still looking around here and seeing all of this Trailhead themed stuff here today at Dreamforce 2016. Now, of course, this wouldn't all be possible without the amazing team that we have now. We have developers, architects, product managers, editors, marketers. This is pretty much almost the entire team. We got bananas and parrots. Like, we are weird, and I love it. But this is the team that puts Trailhead together. And while we're a small team, we're able to do big things. And so I'm really excited to share with you the things that we're building. So just to give you a little bit of stats on our momentum. A year ago at Dreamforce, Adam Sullivan was on the developer keynote stage saying, yeah, we have 165,000 badges, yay! But we just recently passed the $1 million badge mark, which is insane to think about this hockey stick of growth. Not only just quadrupling content in the last year, but people really jumping on and teaching themselves amazing things, which I think is probably the most amazing part of Trailhead. But what have we been doing up until Dreamforce? Well, who in here has noticed that we're on trailhead.salesforce.com now instead of developer.salesforce.com? Yes. What this means for the app is that we now have the flexibility on our own stack to do all of these amazing things and turn the app not into just an amazing content engine, but also into a learner-centric platform that gives you what you need in order to elevate your careers. So At Trailhead DX, something we've already launched, we launched Super Badges, which is real-world business scenarios for you to be able to get real-world hands-on experience at home, translating these system requirements into an actual application and then validating it in Trailhead. We've also localized languages, opening up Trailhead to 2 more localized languages for other people in the world to be able to experience the awesome secret sauce that is Trailhead. And we've also started working on a private API that soon will be opened up to customers so that you guys can be able to create your own Trailhead integrated applications, report on Trailhead activity in your companies, and be able to create fun things that maybe we haven't thought of to do yet with Trailhead. Now, for something that we're going to launch very soon, I'm going to show you a demo of this in a minute. Very soon after Dreamforce is a new login and sign-up flow and a new profile. And what this means for existing users is it's going to be even easier for you to continue getting into Trailhead and getting hands-on quick. But for new users, it's going to be like you won't even realize, what's a developer edition? How do I get started? It's all going to be streamlined away so you can log in with any social media platform, have an org spun up for you on the back end, and immediately get hands-on without having to spin up anything for yourself. Now, on the flip side of this is the profile. And with profiles, what's really cool is now we're beefing up dashboards that you can get about yourself as a learner. We're also beefing up your ability to get back into content, whether it's continuing content or finding new content, and being able to share all of your profile and all of your badges that you've earned with the world. You'll also be able to manage all of these different identities. And actually, instead of just telling you about it, why don't I show you about it? So I'm going to take you into development.salesforce.com, because this is fresh, not on production yet. For anyone who hasn't been on Trailhead before, maybe you just heard, oh, there's Trailhead in the back, and now I'm here, but I've never used this before. This is trailhead.salesforce.com. So this is where you can get started with all of our trails, which are learning paths for different facets of the platform. Modules are those individual bite-sized concepts that build up trails to learn any related content. Projects are like workbooks on steroids, so it's actually following a click path, building it out, and then Trailhead is able to validate that on the back end. And then there's super badges. So since I was just talking about super badges, why don't I take you into a super badge really quick? So this is the Apex super badge. We tell you what the concepts are that you would be doing in an Apex super badge. So call-out logic, automating record creation, creating scheduled Apex. And then we give you an actual contextual use case. So it's a business scenario of a real-world company, and then we give you the actual business requirements that you need in order to build whatever the app is that this company needs. And then Trailhead is able to validate that you've built that properly, giving you real-world hands-on experience to skill up in Apex. Now, I told you about this new login flow and login and sign up, so let me show you how cool this is going to be. So if I go to the top here and I click on login, I have that option to be able to sign in with Salesforce, but also all of these other social media platforms. And depending on what you sign up with, if you sign up with anything other than a developer edition, we're going to create you a developer edition so you don't have to. And then associate that with your Trailhead account so you don't have to remember logins or remember which one do I log in order to earn badges against. It'll all roll up to your Trailhead account so you don't have to worry about it. Now I'm going to log in with Salesforce, and I'm going to show you some of these features from inside the app. Oh, man. One sec. Just VPN'd in. I'm not totally sure what's going on. There we go. Always on the third try. 12-letter passwords. All right. So let me go to an individual module. Now that I've logged in, I want to show you what this is going to look like from the actual unit itself, how easy it's going to be to get hands-on. So now that I've logged in, what Trailhead does is it actually remembers the last DE that I used. So the last developer edition that I was using for hands-on challenges, I can launch it immediately, so I can get started with hands-on. But maybe maybe you want to use a different developer edition. Maybe you're like, oh, I want to spin up a new one and do something in a brand new environment. Well, right here, from clicking on this little downward arrow, I can see all of the orgs that are associated with my Trailhead account, log into a different one, or create a new one. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new one right there. And I can see already that it's spinning up an org for me as we speak. So you don't have to put in any of your login information. You don't have to put in your email, username that looks like an email, none of this. And after, we'll wait for that one to spin up. I can't create another one while it's spinning up. I'm going to jump into the Playful Raccoon org. When I click launch that org, it's immediately launching. You can see in the URL, I'm in that developer edition. I could do this hands-on challenge, go back to my org, or go back to Trailhead, check the challenge, and it would validate against that Salesforce org. But I didn't build it in my Playful Raccoon org. I built it in Resourceful Goat. So I'm going to click on Resourceful Goat and then launch that org. And so what that does is it launches my other org, and I can have org context switching in all of my development environments, making it really easy for me to use all of these different orgs to earn Trailhead badges in. Totally taking away any of the hurdles from before of where do my badges roll up to? What are my development orgs? What have I used for Trailhead? Super simple. Is that not super cool, you guys? Yeah. I am so excited about that. So that's being able to do hands-on challenges really quickly, but what about the profile? So let's go up to the top, and you'll notice I have my dashboard now, my personal profile, and all of my profile settings. So why don't we take a look at the dashboard first? So now the profile gives you some very beautiful stats about what you've been doing in Trailhead, how many badges you've earned, how many points, how many trails you've completed. We can also get back to the badges that you're in progress with, or the trails you've been working on most recently. We also introduced this new Ranger program. So it's a tiered status of all of the activity to motivate you as a learner to keep pushing yourself to learn further. So I myself am an adventurer. I really want to be a mountaineer. Only need a couple more badges for that one. And I also have a bird's eye view on the skills that I've completed by doing hands-on challenges in Trailhead. So I'm mostly Lightning. I have a little bit of Apex and then App Logic General. But this is just the tip of the iceberg for the types of dashboards we want to give you around what your skills are based off what you completed in Trailhead and how those map to actual jobs and career paths in Salesforce. Now, if I were to go to my profile, this is a beefed up iteration of what we have right now on Trailhead, where I can view all of my different badges. I can sort by my different badges. Maybe I want to see super badges versus community badges. And I can also update my profile information. So more than just my job title and the company that I work for, but fun stats about me, and then also some social media in case I want someone to reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. And then it pops up those social media channels here in the corner or in the sidebar. But for anybody that's on Trailhead now, your profile is most likely not public. So you'll be able to toggle your profile to turn it on so people can see the amazing things that you're doing in Trailhead. Now, one other thing that a lot of people have been asking for in Trailhead is how can I share my badges after I've earned them? Maybe you didn't click in that little pop-up window when you earned it. Well, right here, when I hover over any of the badges that I've earned, if I click this drop-down modal, I not only see the points that I earned from this badge, I see when I earned it, and I can see that I can share it to Chatter, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever I want, whenever I want. So this is super exciting. And then for those people, yay, that are going to hackathons, you can even share out all of your badges and link back to your profile. Super exciting. But the settings page, this is really where the magic is happening. So being able to link all of my Salesforce orgs into my Trailhead account so that I can start doing hands-on assessments against them or use them to log in, or even social apps, for being able to log in with these social apps or be able to post out to these social media outlets. This page has so much going on. It is unreal, but it makes it so simple for you to be able to connect any of your accounts into your Trailhead identity. All right. Come on, was that pretty cool, you guys? So, oh, all right. Start from the beginning all over again. Let's just do it again. So now I want to talk to you about some of the things that are coming out after these new features. Because, login, sign up, profiles, those are coming up very soon. But what about the future? Well, first, I want to talk to you about a little thing called favorites. This is something that we get asked for almost more than anything else on Trailhead, which is, I wish I could come back to these modules or projects or units. I really want to be able to just bookmark these for later. And that's what favorites are. Favorites will be stored to your profile so that you can come back to whatever you don't have time to do today. Now, forward-looking, something that's going to be coming out very soon too is this thing called trail mixes. Now, it's very similar to favorites, but it allows you to create a mix. Think of a playlist like Spotify of all of your favorite Trailhead content, and then you can share it with other people, or you can use it on your teams. So you can create your own trails and choose your own adventure. Now, I am super excited for recommended content because if you saw the content slide before, we've almost doubled our content just in the last month. So how do we deal with being able to find the right content in Trailhead when you find the time to be able to do it? Well, we want to build a recommendation engine powered by Einstein that based off of the things that you complete in Trailhead, whether it's skills-related content, role-related content, or maybe you've opted in to tell us, I'm an admin, I'm new in Salesforce, what content should I do? And we'll be able to recommend the things that you should do next based off of the things that you've done. And this is something that we're going to use predictive analytics for, or predictive intelligence for, so that it'll get smarter as more people are using it. And so over time, as we have hundreds and hundreds of modules, Trailhead will know which ones you might be interested in as you're going through your learning journey. Now, this is something onboarding is something that I think all of us have had to go through, whether it's at a job, a project, or even just learning a new technology. And this is really paired with the recommendations engine in that when someone starts in Trailhead, it can be overwhelming. And so what we want to do is we want to create that onboarding experience so you can hit the trail running and really get started with content as quickly and easily as possible. And we're already doing it with login and sign up to help people get hands-on sooner, but this, I think, will really close the loop on being able to know which content to do too. So for the long-term roadmap, I've talked about, everything that I've talked about today has been mostly up to what are we going to be doing in the next couple months. Login and profiles is going to be coming out really soon. Favorites is going to be something we do very soon too. Recommending content and onboarding. If anyone has any ideas about what they are hoping to see with those, please come talk to me afterwards because I would love to hear the things that you're looking for. Account merging is something that we are constantly asked for. Maybe you switched jobs and you lost access to your old Trailhead account because it was associated with your work email. Maybe you accidentally earned badges against the wrong account. Now you want to put those badges onto your primary account. We want to create a self-service environment for you to be able to connect all of your accounts and be able to take them with you on your career journey. We also, trail mixes, an iteration past favorites, be able to create your own playlist, share them with your team, share them with your friends, share them on the success community. And of course, the Trailhead API. This is really going to open up Trailhead to do all of these fun things. I've seen at meetups, people have leaderboards where they've kind of created their own sort of applications built with Trailhead, but it's all very manual, how you get your information in there. What if you could create your own fun leaderboards or apps and be able to pull live data that would constantly be updating as people are completing things? The sky is the limit with what we can do with the API. And we also want to create a managed package, too, that acts as a wrapper on top of the API. So for anyone that just wants to report on activity and Trailhead data, they don't need to build any apps. It can just be directly in their org. Now, for the long-term roadmap, so this is things past the next couple months. One of the things that we are very excited to build is a notification API. So an API to be able to, in the app, notify you, hey, there's new content. Hey, there's a new Cloak of Adventure campaign going on if you want to earn another sweatshirt. We've also talked about having things like error handling. So if there was, say, a bug on an individual unit, letting anybody know that maybe working on it that might be there. This is something that I think will make a huge difference in being able to help people find content inside of Trailhead. Another, and I feel like I'm going down this one by one, is mobile for Salesforce One. So imagine putting Trailhead into your Salesforce One experience, and then automatically it contextually knows who you are, so you can do, you don't even need to log in. You can just do work on your commute or on the train offline and have it right there on your mobile phone. But I think the secret sauce of Trailhead really is the ability to do hands-on, because that's really what makes Trailhead amazing, is being able to build things in your Salesforce org and have it validated. And so what we want to do, too, is be able to build all of these different assessments into Trailhead that are different than what we're doing today. Things like on Heroku, or things on Marketing Cloud, or even things like simulations, or just other types of assessments for standard users and business users. But all of this is ultimately leading up to Trailhead really hoping to be the one-stop shop for your career development, adding in the link between going from zero to hero, learning the platform and being able to get a job, being able to take yourself to your dream career and teach yourself amazing things. So with that, I want to say thank you, everyone, for coming to the session today. And does anyone have any questions? Oh, yeah. Oh, I standing up there. Thanks, Adam.
Samantha, for onboarding, have you thought about enabling companies to set up their own onboarding templates that they can then use to say, okay, as a consulting firm, we want everyone to do these 10 modules in their first 30 days, or similar stuff?
So for onboarding specifically, I see the look on Adam's face, and I feel like he really wants to answer the question. Adam, would you like to take this question?
We think that's a great idea! Hi, everyone. Adam Torman. I'm another product manager along with Sam Reddy. Sam owns the public Trailhead Roadmap. I own what we call the private Trailhead Roadmap, which is all about how we enable that case. Right now, safe harbor, forward-looking statement, we are passionately supplying this for our first customer, which is Salesforce, making our enablement folks very successful with it. We're looking at ways of being able to stretch that out in the future. Just stay tuned for future announcements, but for right now, it is absolutely a great idea. It's something that we are thinking about, and if you have ideas about it, come see me. I would love to actually talk to you about it.
So until then, can we link to these training pieces from some other kind of learning management system, Chatter, somewhere else? Can we build our own Trailhead?
So,
Great question.
So Adam and I are doing another session later this week on how we built Trailhead on the App Cloud. And absolutely, Trailhead, it's a great story for how you can link together all the different platform services on the App Cloud. But it takes a village. I wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. There's too many docs writers, developers, everyone involved. But I would definitely recommend talking to Adam about the things that you might want to use a personalized Trailhead for, because he's still looking for all of the customer stories behind what people would ideally like to see in that system.
And I think, is this thing on? I think that something that Sam said kind of like rang a bell for me. She said, the part of the magic of Trailhead is the hands-on exercises. It's the interactivity. Another aspect that's part of that secret sauce, which we're actually very public about, is the content, tone, and voice. All of it designed to be engaging, right? And that content, which is not just for admins and developers, but also for business users. How many people out there knew or know that we have a trail called the Drucker Management Trail that is not based on admin or developers? It's based entirely on end users. Use the content today. I just finished my first module. Kieran actually was my editor. It took me 4 months seed to shelf to get it out. That is how passionate we are about creating phenomenal content. And It's an absolute phenomenal opportunity. If you can, use that content today. It's public, it's free, it's interactive, it's engaging. And then if you're interested in the customization capabilities or the more private, secure aspects of it, then come see me. Happy to help.
All of that updates on what's going to happen from a profile perspective is great in terms of customizing it for the individual. Is there any thought or plan around customizing the homepage so that when you first get to Trailhead, it knows who you are and maybe starts showing you modules and things that relate to yourself?
Okay. So I'm so happy you asked that question. So this is just one. This is just one rev from our amazing UX designer Chris Fox, where I don't know if you can notice, but that is on trailhead.salesforce.com. We want to have a logged-in experience to change when someone logs into Trailhead, actually having in progress or recommended content service to them. And we really want to populate recommended content everywhere throughout the app. So this is just one place inside of the Trailhead homepage, but it would be great if it was a lot like Amazon, if it showed up at the bottom of a unit, if it was in notifications, like everywhere, absolutely. And we want to add more just everywhere throughout the app. So as soon as Dreamforce is over, he's looking into how we can revamp it into different places. Yeah. Thanks.
Hi. What are you doing with the Premier training and the certifications? Some of the things that we pay for, or they may not follow you from company to company. How are you integrating that?
So we are working with Salesforce U and Premier, and we're trying to figure out how we can integrate all of our solutions together. And so Salesforce U and we're working on super badges with them currently, and we're also brainstorming with them other ways that we can have a strategic partnership in the future. So I think it'll come to fruition, but right now we don't really have everything done with.
And we really don't take their place. They don't take our place. It is a very equitable partnership if you think about what Premier Support offers and what we offer. In some respects, they're very complementary. In some respects, they're very different. But one thing that was kind of fascinating, we did this employee survey, not employee, but customer survey not too long ago. And we found out that 50% of participants, their motivation was studying for certifications, which was fascinating to us. Because for the most part, that's really sort of a distributed ecosystem of blogs and providers. It was interesting to see people actually getting their chomps around things like super badges and modules and projects so that they could actually get ready. So it is a very complementary relationship that we have with them, and we're looking forward to that growing over the time.
As Trailhead topics expand, which of course it will, the taxonomy will continue to grow and grow and grow. The metaphor is still a list metaphor. You're going to have to go through more and more lists of modules and projects and stuff. Do you have any thoughts on other visualizations of how you would display the taxonomy of Salesforce topics, concepts, domains, and begin to change the visualization on that? Are you going there yet? Are you thinking about it?
So that is definitely something that we're thinking about when it comes to how we're going to map content in predictive analytics or predictive intelligence. I don't know why I keep saying analytics. But as far as visualization go with a trail metaphor, I don't think we've really gone into how can we visually display this differently. But the funny thing about what our UX designer is talking about redesigning post Dreamforce is a new way to make content easier to map together and find based off of different users. And so really we definitely want to change as the content stream grows, how we're able to get that content to different users, but I don't know visually how that will manifest. But thanks, Don. That was a tough one.
Could you elaborate a little bit on? Is this on? Thanks, Adam. Could you share on what modules are going to be coming in? Maybe, well, let me back up. I really love the fact that you added the new tag. That's great. What's coming up next from a content standpoint?
So I want to bring up one of our amazing editors, Kieran Jamison.
Hi. So I don't know if you've noticed, but in the last month we launched
70?
Well, it's including public and private, so including the public and the Salesforce specific modules. But we just launched 62 modules this month, which was phenomenal. So now we have Marketing Cloud, now we have Desk.com, now we have Einstein, we have IoT. So we have a lot of that stuff. We are just continuing to ramp in those directions. We'll get Quip, we'll get, more on Einstein. We're going to have MetaMind stuff. We're going to have, so it's really filling in all of those gaps. But we also want to, Jeff Douglas is here. He's the Trailhead developer evangelist. And so we're looking at more advanced developer content. We just launched 4 new projects. We want to do more projects. I myself am interested in a data cleaning project because I'm kind of a data geek, so I love that. Oh, good. We've got one taker. Oh, and super badges. We're going to do more and more super badges. So, yes, I guess I'm allowed to say whatever I want here because it's a forward-looking statement. But there's some really interesting super badges that are going to come up. That is we're always looking for beta testers for that. So if you want to be a beta tester, talk to me or Sam or Jeff. But yeah, we have a really good partnership with the Salesforce Docs team. We have a lot of, and the other thing we're going to do is a lot more soft skill training, related material. So more things like becoming a public speaker, more things like managing effectively, more things like, I'm blanking now.
Well,
but
one of the things that has been super successful has been the Drucker Trail. And right now, Trailhead is very much geared towards the 1%, and that's the 1% of people with admin rights in their org. And we really want to open it up to everyone. What if you could learn to be a marketer marketing with Salesforce? What if you could learn to be a salesperson selling with Salesforce? And so we want to open it up to be for any business user or any admin developer using Trailhead or using Salesforce.
And I want to put a plug in. We just did a trail on UX research and design, which includes a whole module. Yeah, it's amazing. We did a whole module on Salesforce opening up the playbook for different UX personas for all of the different app clouds. So, that's if you're building things for people who sell stuff, for people who give service to people, for people who market. Have a look at those. It's really quite amazing, the stuff that is... we're trying to ask the question with every internal content, is this something that we could open up? And unless it's proprietary information, we're trying to release that on the public side of things.
And
Thanks.
is this thing on? And if you have any ideas, talk to someone. Oh, I am. That's right. No, if you honestly, Mark, if you have ideas, if there are things that you want to be able to see, tell us. Right? Because one thing that we're very eager about, we reach out a lot, but if we haven't reached out to you with a customer survey, if we haven't talked to you, come find us. We're all wearing identical shirts, Ranger shirts. Come find us because we would love to know what you'd like to see out there. If we know whether or not it's coming, we can tell you, and if it's not, it's a great opportunity for us to hear that feedback. So please, come find people in Ranger shirts and tell us. We would love to hear it.
Thank you very much.